Hey, welcome back YouTube. We continue more MSQ playthrough today. Maintenance is now over and everything, so let's go ahead and hop into it. We're going to write in Calusia, making our way towards Eulmore. There you are, MSQ. The others have gone ahead to reconnoiter Gate Town. We are to follow shortly. It has been a while, has it not, since the two of us infiltrated Eulmore? Since we faced Lord Vothri, and I felt such fury as I've never felt before. These actions are unconscionable, of course, and any abhorrence I felt for him entirely justified. It mingled with my rage. There was something else. At first I was unsure what it was, but in the course of our struggles I found the answer. In Vothri's self-righteousness, in his absolute belief that he and he alone is the cure to the world's ills, I saw a reflection of myself, and it brought the memories of all my past follies flooding back. He is the vainglorious, ignorant fool I once was, and having shared in his affliction, I feel duty-bound to open his eyes to the truth. Whether he will accept it with good grace I did is another question. Visit, Reen. Do you sense the light, Warden? I'm not sure. The aura is different. Perhaps if we were a little closer. Tis time we were on our way in any case. Let us join our comrades in Gate Town. MSQ, as a precaution, may I ask that you go first to ensure that the path is clear. The closer we are to Eulmore, the more I worry that Reen may be recognized. If you see prying eyes along the way, pray encourage their owners to look elsewhere. Fourth, you hail the civilian, but he does not respond and continues his incoherent rambling. Lord Vothri, we hear, we obey. Oh, you got a little shadow dude now. Living shadow. Long live Lord Vothri. Long live Lord Vothri. The two that attacked seemed tempered. So I wonder if Vothri is the Light Warden. Ah, good of you to join us. I was debating whether to warn you, but it's too late now. I take it you noticed the people behaving strangely along the path. It's more of the same here. Ishtola and Alice are investigating as we speak. Let's wait and see what they have to say.
their behavior, we may safely assume that they are under Vorthry's mind control. Yet the extent of the effect seemeth to vary dramatically between subjects. It is far too pronounced to be attributed simply to the vagaries of innate magical resistance.
Curiouser and curiouser. We met with no trouble en route. My thanks for securing the way. But given the state of the townsfolk, I see we were never in any danger of being recognized.
What can you tell us from here?
I sense a powerful eater in the uppermost reaches of the city.
It's Vothry.
But there's something different about it. Its light is impure. We need to get closer.
Oh, so that one's Alfino. Well, unless you're triplets.
Kaishir, what are you doing here?
While I was scouting the area, I noticed a suspicious figure skulking about, so I accosted him, only to have him call me Alfino. I thought it best to bring him along.
You see, that informant who's been feeding secrets to the Crystarium, it's me. See, after you saved my life in Eulmore, I thought about going somewhere far away, but I couldn't just leave, not without paying you back. So I decided to stay here, keep an eye on things. And whenever I spotted something strange, I shared it with your friends.
That took no small amount of courage. Well done.
I assume you saw what happened here.
Right, so an airship flew in a bit ago, and not long after, Vorthry starts ranting and raving. You could hear him from all the way out here. Geezer was doing his nut, shouting and screaming like someone had nicked his pie.
'Tis like the airship bore the soldiers sent to thwart our efforts in Armorang.
So eventually the yelling dies down, and then this hot, sticky wind comes blowing through. Now that's when everyone went funny. No, everyone but me. Well, me and a couple of newcomers, though even they started mumbling about Vorthry after a while. Not as bad as the rest, mind you.
Newcomers.
There's something I need Reen to see. This was among the townfolk's food stores.
Oh, that's just meal. Eulmore doles his stuff out.
No, it couldn't be. I know what it is. It's Sin Eater. Meal is made out of Sin Eater.
Blech. Blech.
So it is. In limited quantities, it may have little effect on an average individual. Yet if one were to consume it regularly, over a period of several years, I suspect it would do far, far more than merely nourish the body.
That Vorthry wieldeth power over Sin Eaters is known. Could it be that those who partake of their flesh do thereby render themselves susceptible to his influence? 'Twould serve to explain why the town's newer arrivals succumbed less quickly than those raised on a diet of meal.
He's been rounding up sin eaters and feeding them to people, altering them mouthful by mouthful, all to stop them answering back. There are desperate souls out there killing themselves to escape turning. This is unforgivable. An atrocity.
These Sin Eaters. What if they are not simply rounded up? Do you remember what we were told when first we came to the city? Many enter, but none leave.
Oh, hell nah. Ugh. Oh, hell. Ugh.
Let us put an end to it. To this paradise built upon the bones of the poor. Vorthra's deeds are beyond justification, beyond forgiveness. Evil.
It's highly probable that the Light Warden is waiting for us somewhere in there, and I'm all for going after it. But our enemies know our faces. They know that we are coming, and they will not let us through without a fight. Like it or not, the time for stealth is past. Now, my friend, if you would be so good as to lead the charge.
When we step through the gates, we shall not find the place of hedonistic pleasure we remember, but a battlefield. If you are prepared for this, then let us sally forth.
I can feel it. A dark presence in my domain. Ah! It's them! The villains who would sow chaos in my perfect paradise! Keep them away from me! I command you! Keep them away! Long live Lord 4-3.
He would use his own people as shields.
This area is older than Gate Town. There are bound to be far more civilians under Vorthra's control. But they do not act of their own free will, and we must not harm them.
As if we ever would. Press on with Alphino. We'll hold off the civilians and join you as soon as we can.
Oh, the red and blue jungle. Jungle. Remember you? I'll break your funny bone. Oh, you.
You will find my master in his chamber. But only should you kill me this day, and you will not.
You're one of his puppets, too.
You may think me under his spell, but I uphold Lord Vorthry's ideals of my own volition.
So then you're an
Man
idiot.
is an inherently flawed creature. In his vain pursuit of righteousness, he but sows the seeds of future conflict. Thus, have I chosen to place my hopes upon he who has transcended men, upon he who is unbound by the vagaries of conscience. But enough talk. I am a soldier, and you are my enemy. Come, let us settle this once and for all.
His precious girls. What? Are you all right, MSQ? The citizens appear to have calmed down for the moment. I can only assume Vothri is otherwise engaged. Let's get to the upper level while we can.
Lord Vorthri, your reign of tyranny is at an end. For too long you have preyed upon the desperation of the poor. Now you will answer for the suffering you have caused. And if you harbor even a shred of remorse, I beseech you to use your powers to redress the balance for the future of all in Norvrent.
No, it can't be. This is wrong. It's wrong. The Warden, it's not just a Sin Eater. It's a man.
Remorse? For the future of all? What nonsense is this? There is no justice but mine. No future but mine. No will but mine. It is preordained. I was born to deliver this wretched world. Me? Unseated? No. It's impossible. Inconceivable. Absurd. I am a great and wise king. Greatest and wisest. I reign from on high. I will not be brought low by maggots like you! Ah! Oh, yes, of course. I can begin again. Rebuild my paradise. Once I finish my dinner.
Oh gods, no. Stop him! Thancred, stop him!
Where did he go? in the heavens?
Did Vorthree do that?
We must give chase.
Wait. That is Mount Golg, the highest peak in Calusia. It lies on the other side of a sheer cliff, and much as I wish it were otherwise, it is beyond our reach for now. But even if it weren't, there are people here who need our help.
Oh, Alphino.
Please, even if it's only to tend to their wounds.
You don't need my permission.
Thank you.
I don't know if it will work, but if Vorthry's hold over the people is rooted in light, I might be able to reverse its effects. Will you let me try?
Of course. We'd be grateful for any help you can provide.
Well then, if it's decided, let's all get to work.
Good news, Amask. It would seem that Reen is indeed able to reverse the effects of Vorthry's influence. Even as we speak, she tends to the afflicted in turn. Problem being, there's no end to them. We're trying to provide what relief we can for those who are waiting, and would appreciate your help if you're willing. Oh, yeah, let's attune. So, here is some dream powder. We're administering it to the enthralled to keep them calm until they can receive proper attention. I would appreciate it if you could assist with this task. Now, those affected are scattered all over the city. I suggest starting your search at the derelicts and working your way up. When you are done, be sure to let Rin know. Stop. Trespassers soling our paradise. Where did you fly to, my sweet canary? Gross. Oh, there you are. I've just finished aiding this man. Now for the next one. More out in the derelicts below, you say? So many of them. But Minfilia entrusted this power to me. I won't rest until I've helped everyone. I can bring the enthralled to you. Oh, that would certainly make it easier for me to work. Thank you. I'll do my best to keep pace.
You're going to be all right.
I think that's the last of them.
We've done all we can for the wounded. As for the rest...
Aren't you Alphino? The painter boy? What in the world is going on? Did something happen to us?
Let me handle this. Citizens of Eulmore, what I'm about to tell you will come as a shock. Indeed, you may be loath to believe it, but if you trust the evidence of your senses, it is my hope that you will listen and accept the truth, unpalatable though it may be. Vorthri is a sin eater. Everything he offered, everything he promised, was a lie.
They're not taking it well, and who could blame them?
Are you saying we were Vorthri's puppets all this time?
When you attacked us, you were not yourselves. That much is true. But your conduct prior to that moment was your own. Vorthri's unnatural charisma does not absolve you of all responsibility. Of your own free will, you came to this city and gave yourselves over to its pleasures. And in the course of this, if you mistreated those less fortunate than you, then that too was of your own free will.
Get him. Get him.
It is not for me to judge you, but for your victims. For history. For your conscience. You have dreamed a twisted dream. But now you are awake. You may yet share this world of ours. Join with us and each other, that we might begin anew. We've lost so many already. We dare not lose any more. I have said my piece. My thanks for giving me the chance. There is nothing more to be done here. Let us go after Vorthri.
Is there anything we can do to help? You risked your lives to bring us to our senses, and I, for one, hope to repay that debt. Begin anew, as you said.
Vorthri has fled to Mount Gulg, and we mean to pursue him. Do any of you know the way?
The only way to Mount Gulg is over the Bright Cliff. Have you an airship?
We will contemplate flight only as a last resort. Were we to come under attack whilst airborne, we would have little hope of defending ourselves. If at all possible, we would prefer to travel by land, Is there a way?
Well, the ladder is the only way up and down the cliff, but it hasn't moved in a long time. In the old days, it was operated by the mining folk who lived at the top. After the flood, it saw less and less use, and when Lord Vorthry took control, it was abandoned altogether.
So we somehow need to get the ladder working again.
It moves by means of a talos, if that's any help. But good luck repairing that.
Talos? Did someone say Talos? You know all about them, don't you, dearest? If anyone can get this lift moving, it's you.
Well, perhaps. But see here.
Oh, yes. If you want the golem restored, you may leave it to my husband. For he happens to be the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, foremost makers of Talos, whose contracts include the renowned mining venture of Armoreng.
It's been years and years since I had anything to do with it. I can't just pick up a hammer and set to work.
You can't?
No, that's not what it's just... All right, I will take a look at the Talos. But beyond that, I make no promises. Those with strong backs, come with me. I'll need help dragging the damn thing out of the storehouse.
Well done, brother.
Come, my friend. We have work to do.
I have to remember, I still have to do the quest line in Crystarium for the tank. I'm wondering if we do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's going to come a point where we can't continue unless we do it, so let's just keep going. The ladder is situated to the north and west of Wright. Let us make our way there. MSQ, dost thou see yonder pair of Talos? For a blessing, they were found to be in good repair. Master Chai prepareth to activate them as we speak. With our arcane knowledge, Y'shtola and I will serve as his assistants. At the appointed hour, we shall imbue the golems with aether. Others, meanwhile, attend to the ladder itself, which hath too long lain neglected. Extensive maintenance will be needed ere it can move again, as well as myriad materials with which to perform it. If thou art willing, we would prevail upon thee to procure lumber. Thanks. Directly to the south thou wilt find a dry dock, Venmont Yards. Pray see if thou canst persuade the folk there to part with some lumber for our cause. Oh there, sinner. Haven't seen you around before. New to Gate Town? I take it. If you need lumber for a shack, you've come to the right place. We can do the building for you too, though that'll cost extra. You want lumber to restore the ladder? Why in the world would anyone want to do that? If you don't have the coin, least you could do is come up with a believable excuse. But look, I'm not one to turn folk away. I'll give you your lumber if you do me a favor in return. I just finishing taking stock of our supply and was about to do another round for good measure. I want you to do the counting instead, and we'll see if your total matches mine. Now, some of the lumber's lying around the yard, but most of it is kept in the storehouse. For these, you can just ask Grithril for the number. Here, I'll lend you some writing material so you can take notes. Last I counted, we had 68 planks in the storehouse. 68 minus 9. Let's see if this is right. 68 minus 9 plus 12. So 71. Okay, so should be in our key items, perhaps. Okay, so scrawled in your hand, the note says 68 in storehouse, 9 discarded, 13 delivered, 1 damage. Okay. So again, we've got. Okay, you know what? It's written down, so we can just come back. There's 11 in the stack there. Where's the third? Where's the third one? Hello? Maybe up here? And then 24. Okay. So let's start here. We've got 68 minus 9. It's 59 plus 13 minus 1 is 71. Plus 24, 95, plus 11, 106. Thanks for your help, friend. Taking stock there puts me to sleep, but it has to be done. As promised, I'll give you your lumber. What do you need it for anyway? You were serious about the ladder. I'll be damned. If that's the case, please let us help with the work. We're shipwrights with no ships to build, only shacks. While it's a living, we all itch to do something greater. This fellow you say is in charge. You reckon he'd mind the likes of us barging in on his project? He won't mind. Wonderful. I'll round up the lads and lasses and we'll head over to the ladder, along with all the lumber you need. Can actually start turning stuff in on Paladin, so we can get levels. Ah, thou art returned. Wert thou able to procure the lumber? Well, to secure not only the material but the eager cooperation of the shipwrights besides. Their expertise shall greatly avail our efforts. Master Chai's own efforts have not been without struggle, but he hath proven himself to be a determined soul. I doubt not but that work shall be complete ere long, and we may continue on our way once more. Though it hath been years in the making, at long last do the people stand united in defiance of the world's fate, their hopes spurring us ever onward towards journey's end. Whatsoever may await us when thou takest those final steps, I pray that it should be worth a smile upon thy face. Ah, but prematurely do I give myself to sentimental musings. Many more pressing concerns demand our attention, not the least of which is the matter of how we might reach the mountain, detached from the land as it is. For the present, 'twould appear we have matters here well in hand. Perhaps thou should take thine ease for some time. Thou wilt need every ounce of thy strength for the trials ahead.
Would you look at that? The citizens of Eulmore engaging in what can only be described as manual labor. Who would have thought it possible? Do you know the most reliable way to deal with those who stubbornly refuse to see reason? You conquer them. Crush them under heel. Such was the trusted method of Alec, and one still favored by Garlemald. But conquest is the easy part. The true challenge begins once the dust has settled, quenching the glowing embers of animosity and maintaining a semblance of peace. This requires the conqueror to treat the conquered with dignity, and the conquered to let bygones be bygones, a difficult feat to achieve. But you have achieved just that, to my considerable surprise. It's a compliment. Take it. The vibrant energy that fills the air when like-minded souls gather. To think back on that time before time, fair brings a tear to the eye. What? You thought ancient beings like us incapable of crying? Well, rest assured that if your heart can be broken, then so can mine. Back when the world was whole, we had family. Friends, loves. Men knew peace and contentment, and with our adamant souls, we could live for an age. There was no conflict born of want or disparity. Our differences paled into insignificance next to all we had in common. And then there was Amarok. Never was a city more magnificent. From the humblest streets to the highest spires, she fairly gleamed. Not that you would remember any of this.
Remember?
Never mind. The point is, the world of old was a far better place than what we have now. I believe you would like it, having witnessed the things you have. Remember, you are of the Source. Unlike the half-men here, you stand only to gain. Should you survive the remaining calamities, you will become our equal, a complete existence in a complete world. But such talk is a pleasure for later. Back to work, hero. Ah, there was one thing I had meant to ask. How well do you know the Exile? Has he ever deigned to show you what hides beneath the cowl? What? Never? Even to you? How very interesting. I shall enjoy working out what it means. Until next time.
I knew you could do it, dearest. I never doubted you for a moment.
It's alive. I don't know if you remember, but when we first met in this world, I was all but spent. I never thought to wonder why until now. I think it all just got to be too much. The guilt of causing the flood. Knowing everyone hated me. But the worst thing was the solitude. Time wears you down, aye. Solitude eats away at you. It was this close to finishing me off. But as bad as it got, and as empty as I felt, I can't even begin to imagine what it must be like for M itself. All of which is a long way of saying, don't make a choice that leaves you alone. Nothing is worth that. Especially not eternity.
Glad tidings, my friend. The ladder lives again.
The three of us have been invited to do the honors. Are you up for it? Of course, if you're worried that the whole thing might come crashing down, we can always find someone else. That's the spirit. Come on then.
We rode the ladder too, my comrades and I. Once upon a time. Watched the horizon grow, and the town shrink below us. Awed and terrified in equal measure, we ascended without a word, the silence broken only by the rhythm of the gears. No one but me remembers that day. Remembers our journey and our end. Retread the path. Seek
you may yet find.
Feel like we're getting closer and closer to the end, guys. All right, like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.